Well everybody, I'm going to do a review on this Harbor Freight panel hoist for hanging drywall. These retail for $299.99 or $300. It was on sale for $199 and I actually found a 25% off coupon. I'd not seen those before, so I applied that. So this was $150 plus tax out the door, so 50% off. Not to mention that I had another coupon offer that was emailed to me. If you spend over $100 and something, you could get a free multi-tool. This is actually item number 68861. I haven't even opened this yet. I believe it only came with one blade. They sell extra blades and whatnot, so hey, I mean, this might come in handy. I could have used it the other day, but I didn't want to spend the money on one, so I kind of got it free if you want to look at it that way. I'll review this in a separate video. Anyway, back to the lift. This is the way it comes out of the box. I actually had to take it out of the box at the store, so I didn't have my truck with me. It certainly wouldn't fit in my car. I had my wife's SUV. Wouldn't fit in the back, so out of the box it was no problem to get it in there. Just a little bulky, so something to think about if you pick one of these up. Everything you see here is out of the box. It looks like the only thing I really need to assemble on it is put the handle on it. And this would be how it would knock down, if you wanted to store it or something like that. And of course it came with a manual. So I'm going to get it set up here and then I'll start giving my thoughts on it. Okay, I'm going to go into the assembly on this. The first thing you want to do is lay down your tripod section here. You can see that it holds itself shut. This is a spring-loaded catch. You push down on this and start wheeling it back out. And it will come in and snap right there and hold it shut. So to close it, push it down, go the other direction. Pretty self-explanatory. Now I'm going to show you how to put in the mast. Okay, the mast is probably the heaviest part of the unit, but I don't know if you can see it, but under here there's an extra piece of welded steel on here that makes up a slot. You want to make sure and get that piece over here to where this goes inside the sandwich. And then down in the bottom there's a little V. You'll see it if you've got one of these. You just need to make sure you get it in straight. Just like that. That's all it takes to put that part in. Now we're going to pull out the wheel here. So basically just pull it out and it'll start coming down like this. And then right here, push down here and start turning this, and that will lock this in place. You want to put it back up, simply lift this, lift on this lever, and it'll start going back closed. Since we pulled the wheel down without releasing some of the cable, it raised up this portion of the mast, so we need to let that down. So this is an automatic safety here, so as you're going up it'll index in some slots, so if you lose the brake or something, it'll hold the it'll support it and keep it from coming down, or catch that catch if you happen to not be in one. So you just pull the lever down, pull it over to the side, and now it holds it out of the hole. And now we can let the mast down. Okay, I'm going to let the mast down what little bit it went up. This is the brake release right here. Don't ever pull on this unless you're holding this in some capacity, or it'll come down quick and bang you on the head. So just go up just a little, raise the brake, and then slowly let it down. So now it's all the way down. This is the time right here where if your cable is not wound tightly, fix it. So there, that's going to wind it up real nice so it doesn't get tangled. Okay, I wanted to give you a quick shot of the only thing I really found wrong with this unit, which is really no big deal. In the manual there's a wing bolt right here. They showed one with an eye in it, but because these wings, these were actually catching right here and I couldn't loosen these up to collapse it. So a simple flat washer on either end. Now it'll clear that bracket. And you can loosen this up and just fold this around. And this is just for storage if you wanted to store it. So you can see now it's holding it that way. So if you do fix this, you would simply loosen these up, tighten the bracket back up. Either do it before or after you put this on. Okay, I just put on the first part to support the panels. This is really self-explanatory. There's a pin sticking off on the bottom of this. It goes into the hole in the top of the mast, and that's it. simply set that on here. There's a bracket here, there's one on either end, they're both the same, and they're a wedge shape. And this is the actual wedge that goes in there, and you'll notice this piece of steel that is acting like a spring. Once you put it in there, it'll actually lock. To take it off, simply press on this, pull backwards, and it'll come right back out. And that's it. And I'll put the one in on the other side. Okay, there's an outrigger support on either side. I have this one extended its entire distance. There's a pin you pull here that's spring loaded, and then you can slide this to one of 3 holes. It's in this one, there's one here, and there's one right here. So you can adjust it for different panel lengths that you're going to install. When you're going to load a panel, this pin right here in this clip is in this spot right here to hold it in its horizontal position. Just simply remove that, and then you can tilt this thing all the way up to this position right here. Then you can load your panel on, and it will be held by this. And then if you're going to do vaulted ceiling, you can actually pick one of these holes and put it in there, and it'll hold it at the proper angle for you. Or just lay it back flat if you're going to do a flat ceiling, which is what I'm. When you have your panel loaded and you're ready to do your lift, just wheel it around, get it close to where you want it. Start wheeling it up. I can only go up so high here because I've got a bunch of things on my ceiling. And then once you get it fairly close, you know, you can spin this around, move it around, adjust it, and then come up a little more and, you know, tighten it up to your ceiling where you're gonna put your panel. And then you might lock your casters if you want to. And once you've secured your sheet enough to get this lift out of the way so you can finish screwing it off, you want to release this, pull it over to the side. Like I said, never take your hand off this handle. Go up just a little bit, pull your brake, and slowly bring it down. Now if you watch as it comes down, this fork's going to come into the frame and it's going to reset that safety. It's actually a pretty neat little gadget there. And you see it just reset that. So now when you go up the next time, it'll automatically start hitting its catches. Like so. So again, bring it down. And there you have it. You can also use this lift, instead of just using it for ceilings, to hang the top sheets on walls, which should go up first. So you would simply load your panel up, holding here. You can put in your pin if you wish. Wheel it into the wall. Drop this foot down, and that prevents the lift from rolling backwards. And then at that point you would just merely tilt your panel up to the wall, adjust it, fix it a few times, then move this out of the way, and then finish screwing or nailing that off. Okay, here are my final thoughts on this. I think for the money it is a good value. The only thing I found that was really wrong with it was, like I said, these wing nuts were hanging up on this bracket. A simple washer, no problem. Everything else, it seems to work exactly as intended. Now this is not a commercial unit. It's height limitation, I measured it. It seems to be about 11 feet from here to the ground, ran all the way up on the mast. So you need to take that into consideration if you're trying to hang a high ceiling or a vaulted ceiling or something along those lines, because that may limit whether or not you can use this machine. Now you can get a little bit higher with it if you're doing a vault, because this thing will be tilted, you know, so one edge will be up as high. I'm not going to bother trying to figure out in every pitch there what the absolute height would be. You know, you're on your own on that one. But all in all, I think it's a good purchase. You know, like I said, it seems to be fairly heavy duty. You know, it seems pretty rigid, pretty solid. All in all, it's going to work for me. Now there are other ways to hang drywall, of course. You can one arm it. You can have some help. You can make T-braces. You can do whatever you need to get these sheets up. But for me, working alone, this is going to make my life easier and make my job go easier. Not to mention, this thing's never late, it never doesn't show up, it's never sick, it never takes vacation. It'll work absolutely as long as I want it to work. I can leave it standing there and it'll stay there for months without complaining. So that's really the reason why I bought it, to make my life easier, and it is going to do that job. I used to rent them, I think I mentioned it, and working the clock, you know, at 10-15 bucks a day, whatever they were, you know, you got to keep moving. If you get sick or don't want to work, that clock's still ticking. So this way, for a small investment, like I said, this was only $150 plus tax out of my pocket, so 50% off what they usually want for them. I think it's a great deal. Do some research, do some homework, good luck, and thanks for watching.